Yes, you're most welcome again to this platform, Light Academy Nursery and Primary School. This is Teacher Robert presenting a lesson of mathematics in Primary 4. Yeah, just like I had said in the previous lesson, I actually talked about the operation or numbers. Remember, some of these topics we are covered and some of them are not so far covered according to the syllabus of term 1. So this is an opportunity to get a chance to learn more about what was not covered. So for this lesson, in the previous lesson I talked about subtraction as one part of the operations or numbers. For this lesson I've come to talk about subtraction in numbers. Yes, it is real nice that mathematics keeps on repeating itself. Our learners of Primary 4, this work was covered in Primary 3. It was as well covered in Primary 1 and Primary 2. We shall also look at more of subtraction in Primary 5 and some other classes to come. But of course, if we leave one class, we go to the next class, the concept it taught is the same. What changes is the arrangement of the questions and adding in a few things. So for this lesson, just like I've said, I'm talking about subtraction. If we are actually in face-to-face, we'll get lots of chances to share different examples. You work out some things, I also work out some things. But since I can only actually give on my side, just be critical and attentive. So subtraction, what does it mean? In the previous classes, the likes of Primary 3 and Primary 2, there are some words that you used referring or having the same meaning as the word subtraction. So before I continue, let me start by giving some common words with the same meaning as subtraction. Common words used in subtraction. Common words used to mean subtraction, used in subtraction at this level of Primary 4. These words here have the same meaning. There is a word like, the first one is difference. Difference. There is another word which is common, used it in P.4, minus. We have another one which is take away. Take away. You used this word probably in P.3 and P.2. There is also this other word which you can use to mean subtraction. More than. When you meet this, it also requires us to subtract. There is also another one which is used when we are counting issues concerning money. Much more. Much more. So there are some other words, but for this lesson, let me just refer to these words. These words I've just written, like difference, minus, take away, more than, much more. Should I meet them in one of the questions of mathematics? Of course, they are telling me that what you should do must be subtraction. Are we together? So these words can used to refer to what we are calling subtraction. So in Primary 3, you used it to carry out some subtraction, but the subtraction you used it to carry out was basically subtraction of 2-digit numbers. For example, I can actually refer to this. Let me have these examples here. In Primary 3, you would have something like this. Work out. Then they would say 39, for example, take away 23. So you had such kinds of questions in Primary 3. This is 39, I'm subtracting 23 from it. So in subtraction of these classes right away from Primary 3, our subtraction in most cases has to be organized in a vertical order. But what will help us to organize these numbers in a vertical order is the fact that we must identify the place values of the numbers or the digits in the numbers we are subtracting. For example, in this example, if it was in P3, 39 has 2 digits. The first digit from the right is 9, the second digit becomes 3. So they are under different place values. So for that case, it's not a crime to first identify the place values of these digits in these numbers before I subtract them. I'll go straight to 39. 9, you actually give the place values of all numbers from the right hand side to the left hand side. For example, 39, 9 is under the 1's place value. Then the 3 is under the 10's place value. Then you go to the other number, which is 23. Still from the right, the first number is 3. It is under the 1's place value. Then 2 is the second number. It is under the 10's place value. So our dear learners, in both cases, 39 has 2 place values. Even 23 has 2 place values. So we shall have these place values written as 1's and the 10's place value. So 9 is put under the 1's. Then 3 is put under the 10's. Then we go to the number that we are subtracting from 39. Its number under the 1's is 3. So I'm going to write 3 under the 1's place value. Then there is 2, which is under the 10's. I'm going to write it under the 10's place value just below number 3. Okay? Be careful of arranging the numbers in their correct place values. I should not forget that after arranging them in a vertical order, I must put the operation sign, which is subtraction for this case. So this is what you would always do. Have this. When we are subtracting numbers, we always start from the right hand side to the left hand side. Basically from the 1's place value to other place values as you went to the left of the numbers. So under the 1's I'm having 9. If I'm having 9 oranges, you take away 3 oranges. What remains is 6. I write 6 under the 1's. Then I go to the 10's place value. Then I subtract and I say, if these are 3 mangoes, I take away 2 mangoes. The remaining mangoes, I'm just left with 1 mango. So our dear learners, that one brings us to the answer that I get as 16. So typically this is some of the subtraction you used to have in primary 3. But in primary 4, we are going to follow the same concepts. But what will come in here, in this subtraction of primary 4, we shall use this word. Let me first give this example here. Find, I can say, find, let me use these words. Oh, no. I can say subtract. Let me be straight. This, subtract. Then you say 528. Take away 419. This is the example I've just given here. In primary 4, just like I've said, in primary 3, most of the questions of subtraction had 2 digits. But in primary 4, we shall actually go on and look at more bigger numbers. For example, the example I've given here, it is 528. Take away 419. Both the numbers, each one of them has 3 digits. Okay? This is a typical P4 question. So for this case still, we shall have 2 words. The first one shall be organizing the digits in their correct place values. Then the second one shall be using the word regrouping. So in primary 4, we can see, in primary 3, we never did a lot of regrouping, which we mean borrowing. So when I say regrouping, I'm meaning borrowing. So the word regrouping or borrowing shall be used commonly in the subtraction of P4. So let us just look at these 2 numbers. In the first place, give these digits their place values. For example, the first number is 528. give the place values from the right hand side to the left hand side. So the first number here, 8 is under the ones place value, 2 is under the tens place value, and 5 is under the hundreds place value. As well, when I go to the second number, which is 419, from its right, the first place value is ones, where 9 lies. The second number is 1, which lies under the tens. Then the third number is 4 under the hundreds place value. So we are actually able to see that both of these numbers, each one of them has 3 place values. So the place values are hundreds, tens, and ones. So it's okay, I can write these place values first and say hundreds, tens, and ones. The first number, which is 528, the 5 is under hundreds, the 2 is under tens, the 8 is under ones. Then we go to the number we are subtracting. The 9 is under ones, then the 1 is under the tens, then the 4 is under the hundreds. After organizing them in this order, which is vertical, in their corrective place values, it is very important that you arrange the numbers in their corrective place values. So after that, I should not forget that the operation I'm dealing with is subtraction. So I must put it there. Okay? So in that case, I will be in position to get the answers after subtraction. This is what I'm going to do. Remember, when we are subtracting numbers, or when we are finding the difference, or when we're taking away, we subtract the numbers from the right hand side to the left hand side. Therefore, I will start and I say 8 take away 9. In this case, the number up is smaller than the number down. That implies that that subtraction is impossible, because I cannot subtract a bigger number from a smaller number in this kind of arrangement. So what am I supposed to do? I'll go to the next place value on the left, which shall be the tens place value. I just pick one bundle of the tens. Therefore, the number 2 under tens shall be reduced to 1. Then I take one bundle of the tens to the ones place value. When I bring the 10 under the ones, I will just add that bundle of the 10 to 8 to make it 18. So it has come as a bundle of tens. So I've made it now 18. Therefore, when I subtract now 9 from 18, the answer I get is 9. Then I go to the tens place value. I'm left with 1, take away 1. When I subtract 1 from 1, the result is 0. Okay? Then I go to the hundreds place value. I'm having 5, take away 4. That is possible. When I subtract 4 from 5, the result I get is 1. So that one, our dear learners, shall have given us the answer. Don't forget, in this P4 work, it's basically when we are looking at subtraction, we look at arrangement of the digits in their corrective place values, then there are some situations of regrouping or borrowing. However, the questions of subtraction in P4 can be set in different ways. They can set them as words. They can even use money. I can give another example in form of words. Yes, we can have this one. This is number 2. I can give the third one here, and I say, for example, Sarah, the question says, Sarah had 2,000 shillings. She gave away, I think you're able to hear those words. She gave away 1,000 shillings. 1,000 shillings. Okay? How much did she remain with? So this is yet another question. It is in form of words, but when you read it critically, you'll be able to see that what is needed in the question is subtraction. The question says, Sarah had 2,000 shillings. She gave away 1,000 shillings. How much did she remain with? In other words, they are telling us to get a difference between what Sarah had before and what she gave away. So at the start, she had 2,000 shillings. She gave away part of it. So to get what was left or she remained with, the concept is basically subtraction. So what are we going to do? Remember, this is money. We shall say the money she had before, which was 2,000 shillings, okay? We shall subtract what she gave away, which was also 1,000, okay? Be careful when you're organizing these numbers. Look at the place values. So 2,000 has 4 place values, 1,000 has also 4 place values. So both numbers have 4 place values each. So we must be careful when we are organizing the digits in it. I've written 2,000 first, but when I want to write the one I'm going to subtract, which is 1,000, I'm just going to start from the right-hand side, just below the first zero of 2,000 from the right. So I'm just going to write this 1,000 under the 2,000, but being careful of arranging the digits in their corresponding or in their correct place values. After writing them, I should not forget to put the sign, which is subtraction, and I put also the symbol for money, which is I've written as this SH. Okay? Then from here, I'll be in position to have this one here subtracted. Just like I've already said, when we are subtracting the numbers written in a vertical order, we start the subtraction from the left-hand side, which is under the 1 place value, to the right-hand side. So I will start. When I subtract 0, 0 from 0, the result gotten is a 0. When I subtract the second 0, 0 take away 0, the result is 0 under the tens. When I go to the 100 place value, I'm having the 0 subtracted from 0. The answer gotten is a 0. Then when I go to the 1,000 place value, where 2 and 1 are, I will say this 1 subtracted from 2 under the 1,000 place value, the answer gotten is 1. So I've just got what remained as 1,000 shillings. Okay? So we can be able even to write and say, how much did she remain with? We can say Sarah remained with 1,000 shillings. Okay? That shall make us have gotten the answer according to the question which was given. We would have lots of work or examples or numbers to try out, but probably you can as well have this number here as your number to try out, number 4 for each one to try. The question says, what must be, I can give another question. Let me give another one question. They can say find the difference. They can say find the difference between 629 and 319. So I think when we read this question talking about difference, we can be able to tell that what is required of us in this question is subtraction. So because of time, I would love to stop at this point. Then the fourth number shall be tried by each one of you. Don't forget that at the end of this lesson, we are able to have some other numbers for our personal exercise. Don't forget to check us on Light Academy webpage for more of this kind of work. Catch up with you next time. Teacher Robert. Stay home, wash hands and stay safe. See you next time.